Hi, I'm Mike Beliveau, and today I'm back at the West Shore Sportsmen's Association, and I'm going to be shooting the Gamblers Royale. Now, this is a gun made by Pietta in Italy. It's imported by E.M.F, and it is a beautiful Colt Single Action Army clone. It features full coverage laser etched engraving. It is a beautiful gun. Now, the only difference I made to it is the gun originally came with stained black walnut grips. And I changed that to a black pearl grip because I just thought that a gun with that much beauty from the engraving deserved to have a grip that was equally as good looking. So I think the black pearl grips take it to the next level. And there's a video on the channel showing how I did that if you're interested. But other than that, it's the only change I've made to the gun. And today we're going to take it out and shoot it for the first time. Well, the Gamblers Royale loads like any other Colt clone. It's got a loading gate. Put the hammer on half cock. That allows the cylinder to turn. And then you load the rounds in. Now, I'm loading 5. And I know a lot of you are going to take me to task for that. You're going to say, well, you're at the range, just load 6, don't be a pansy. And I'm going to tell you, there's 2 reasons why I don't do that. One, just like a professional golfer, if he's doing a 6-inch putt or he's doing a 16-foot putt, he goes through the same procedure of lining up the shot every time. And that is important. That consistency in making his putts, right? Well, for me, I like to be consistent in how I load my revolvers every time, so I know how they're loaded. There's no question about whether or not there's a primer under the firing pin. That's one. Number 2, even though I'm at the range, having a firing pin on a live primer is dangerous. I could trip and fall down, which, given my history in the last year, could certainly happen. I could bobble the gun. The gun could fall out of my holster for whatever reason. And if it hits the ground and there's a primer under that hammer, it's likely to go off, and that's a bad thing. So for me, with a single action of the Colt type, Rugers, of course, are different. It just makes sense to load 5 every time and put the hammer down on an empty chamber. So I'm going to load 1, I'm going to skip 1, and then I'm going to load the other 4. And then when I cock the hammer, if you can see daylight in there, it's going to come down on the empty chamber. So perfectly safe. Well, little Roy's been caught dealing from the bottom of the deck. I'm going to have to take the Gamblers Royale and use it to shut his crooked game down permanently. That'll teach him. Well, the Gamblers Royale was a brainchild of a friend of mine, Debbie Sims. She's the CEO of E.M.F Firearms. And she made it thinking about a specific TV Western gambler, Brett Maverick, as played by James Garner in the 1950s TV show Maverick. And I think she's a little infatuated with him, and that was her thought, that was a pistol that he would like to carry. The James Garner is twice my height and half my width, so I decided not to try to portray him. But there is another TV gambler that I was always very fond of as a kid watching TV, and that was Gene Barry playing Bat Masterson. And since I now have to carry a cane, and my cane just happens to look almost exactly like the cane that Bat carried in the TV show, and I figured if I was going to be carrying the cane, I should rock the derby as well. So I'm kind of doing my my Bat Masterson look today. I think derbies are sharp looking, but not everybody shares that opinion.
You sure dress fancy, Mr. Masterson. I thought a gunfighter didn't care about his looks.
Gunfighter?
My pa says you're the fastest draw between here and California.
It's a lot of territory.
That's why they call you Bat, isn't it?
Yeah? It was given to me by the grateful citizens of Dodge City when I was sheriff there.
My pa says you can bat a man over the head faster than he can go for his gun.
The boot, Sandy.
Yes, sir. You gonna wear that? You must have a fast draw.
Well, unloading the Gamblers Royale is just like unloading any single action revolver. Put it on half cock, open the loading gate. The ejection lever is in this housing, and we just kick them out. And there we go. Whoa, I missed him. First miss today, only miss today. Well, even Bat Masterson must have missed sometime. Well, I hope you're enjoying our look at E.M.F's Gamblers Royale. I know some of you are saying, well, my gun is just way too fancy. It's not the sort of thing I ever would have carried in the 19th century. And, you know, there would have been a time when I might have agreed with you. But you know, I've been researching guns used by the gunfighters, lawmen, and what I've discovered is that quite a few of them picked up fancy engraved models as they were doing better in life. And, you know, Theodore Roosevelt certainly said the only difference between the armaments of ranch owners and ranch hands were that the ranch owners' guns were engraved and silver-plated. So, I think that's the thing. I'm 70 years old. I think I would have been successful in the 19th century, just like I was fairly successful in the 20th and 21st centuries, and that I would have been willing to treat myself to a nice gun at some point in my life, and this is it. So for me, this is a special events gun, let's say. What some people call a barbecue gun or a Sunday go-to-meeting gun. This is not an everyday plinker. It's way too pretty to use every day, but it's still got to be used. Now, the E.M.F. Gamblers Royale is available chambered in either 45 Colt or 357 Magnum. And I selected 357 Magnum because it gives me the option of shooting 38 specials, and I've got half a dozen single action armies in 45 Colt. And a couple in 44-40. But I didn't have any in 38 special, so this gives me a chance to fill that gap. And since this isn't a gun that I'd be carrying for, you know, let's say serious self-defense purposes, I can shoot 38s in it and really enjoy the nice soft recoil. But if I did have to use it for a serious purpose, 357 is going to take care of anything that needs to be taken care of. So I'm not too concerned about it. And I really have enjoyed this gun. So I hope you enjoyed a little trip to the range with me. And if you did, you know what to do. Thumbs up, make a comment, spread it around. make the algorithm happy. And I will see you next time. Until then, bye.